This is the golden era.
Yeah. Ron, Rob, yo. 414, what it do, baby? Let's go. Milwaukee, that's my city. I go ham and I get busy. I'm surrounded by this sticky and these niggas that be flipping, turning sides while they faking, making statements, breaking codes. Boy, it ain't no way around it. Take the stand and use a hoe. Plus these bitches got these niggas slipping, acting like they tough. She gon' tell you that she love you, then come bag it up for us. Scout scale right in front of me, bagging up the skunk. Break it down, cock it back, nigga. This ain't what you want, but
1 2 1 2. I'd like to welcome everybody back to the Golden Era Podcast, where we talk about that real shit, hip hop, the music, and the culture. We don't talk about no bullshit, no fake beefs. We don't do the gossip. We talk about strictly the culture and the music. If you found us, that's good. If not, check me out at goldenerapodcast.com or IG at Golden Era Podcast. If you like dope artwork, you can hit the website as well. Check out some of the dope art that I got for sale on the website. But I also might have something coming that I've been working on. Some Golden Era bongs, yo, for the weed smokers. So if you see that one right there, my guy make those pieces, man. So I'm going to try to put a little partnership in with him, man, and, try to, because, we 420 friendly over here at the Golden Era.
Facts.
You know what I mean? So why not? You know what I'm saying? So check that out, man. Go goldenerapodcast.com. Like I said, IG Golden Era Podcast. This is episode 9. If y'all was with us for the last episode 8, we did a recap of 2018. So this is episode 9, first episode of 2019. So, and in the studio, and I got somebody on the phone, but in the studio first, I got a returning guest, Dari Bluestar. How you doing, my brother?
I'm good, fam. Peace to the world.
What's going on? And then we got your son in here, man. I can't believe it.
Yeah.
Finally he big, he taller than you.
Yep, he back.
What's going on, Ali? How's it going?
It's going good.
It's going good, man?
Going good, yeah.
Yeah, you hearing this cold-ass weather in Wisconsin.
Yeah. Back.
How old are you now?
17.
17. So we got a bunch of OGs and we got a 17-year-old.
Yeah.
And on the phone,
Young
got my
OG.
homie, man, back in high school, long time ago, Gary, man, down in Houston. What's going on, my brother?
What's going on, Chris? Good to have me on here. Hey, we go back to
Middle school.
we go back to Morris, bro.
Middle school. Yeah. Middle school. I was thinking about that for a minute. Like, was we middle? Like, am I getting that old? I don't even remember back to middle school and shit. Like, damn.
Almost 30 years.
30 years, yo. Like, for a long time. We lost contact for a while. You go to college, have kids and life and shit, but you still my nigga, man. Hey, you know who else wanted to tell you what's up, man? Quincy. You remember Quincy Washington?
Yeah.
I found out.
And I see he moved back so recently too.
Yeah, his pops had to get a new kidney and stuff, man. So, and you know what's crazy, man, is he caught fucking Legionnaires, man, at UW-Madison Hospital when he got his kidney transplant.
Okay.
Yeah, he back home now though, man. But they had about 13 cases out there, man. A couple people actually died from it at UW-Madison Hospital. Yeah, from Legionnaire's disease, man. Luckily, he made it out of there, before that happened. But he did actually contract Legionnaire's disease at UW-Madison. So, yeah, but Quincy, man, you know what I found out after high school? That's my cousin.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. After high school, though, I didn't know that was my cousin. He on my grandmother's side, like third cousin or something. You know what I mean? Something crazy down the line shit. Yeah, but he my cousin.
All family. All family, all love.
Yeah, so he wanted me to tell you what's up, man, because I was going to try and get him over here. We could hook up when you was up here in town, but that didn't work out too good, so I was sick and shit. But yeah, these my guests, man, and the Golden Era Podcast been doing good. On this episode today, man, we got some dope topics, man. I'm going to try to get into the year 2000, best albums of that year. I ain't going to talk about all of them because there's a whole lot of albums that came out that year. We're going to get into your first rap album you ever bought and why did you buy it? You know what I'm saying? You can get in on that album, youngin'. You can get in on that one.
Trying to think.
Yeah, just think about it now. You can get in on that conversation. We're going to do some liner notes on this episode. I'm bringing that back for you, Dari, man. We're going to do AT-Aliens and Reasonable Doubt.
For sure.
Yeah, so we're going to do some liner notes because y'all know that was a good staple of hip-hop. Gary, I know you dig through some liner notes before, haven't you?
Those definitely, man. That's. I mean, if I was a if I was a producer and everything like that, and doing a lot of tracing of where cats got beats and stuff like that from, I definitely know where they would be looking at. So that's why I fuck with like Peak Rock and Premier heavily, man, because they was jazz head. I found those records in my dad's collection.
Hey, yeah, you go back and you find them. You're like, damn, I got that shit too.
Yeah, I'm all in. So when I hear shit and I hear people use shit, man, that excites me, and I have to go confirm.
Hell yeah. So, and then what else we got? We're gonna this is a topic you gave me, man. We're gonna highlight rappers who started in groups but also went on to have successful solo careers. So you gave me that. I didn't even think about that kind of idea, but you gave me that one, Gary. So that was a dope idea. And then
sorry about that. That was based off the artist you had suggested for the show.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get to that. So yeah, we're gonna do try to get to the dopest concert you ever been to. Cause I have a few, man, that was just like stupid dope. I know y'all do as well. I know you've experienced some concerts, haven't you?
Yeah, I have.
Okay, all right, we good. And then the main topic of the show, man, we're gonna spotlight Ghostface Killa from the Wu-Tang Clan.
Forever.
One of my top 5 MCs of all time. So we're going to get into his discography, man. Maybe some of y'all favorite albums, favorite songs, his connection with other rappers, and just your general thoughts on his career. You know what I'm saying? Where they started from when he was in the first Protect Your Neck video with the motherfucking mask over his face because he didn't want nobody to see him. You know what I mean? And I was like, who is this cat?
Yeah.
To Supreme Clientele with the crazy ass lingo that couldn't nobody fucking understand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then we get into now where he kind of like carrying the woo, man. So that's kind of where the idea came from. So those are topics, man. We're going to try to get to all of them, but I know for sure we're going to get to the Ghostface. So, but everything else is going to kind of go with the flow, man. The conversation, you know how we do on the Golden Era. So conversation might take a few turns and twists here and there. Because this is definitely about, this other thing I want to say, man, about the podcast is it's definitely about the stories. You know what I mean? I really like to hear the stories of where you was at when you heard a certain song. You know what I'm saying? What you was doing in your life when you was at a certain concert. You know, because hip-hop is about the story. It's about the feeling, you know, that you have when you in the music and you in the culture. So I just do want to go through real quick, man, the 9 elements of hip-hop, because everybody always think hip-hop is just rap music. And you know this, Gary, it ain't just rap, right?
That's for sure.
Yeah, it's not just rap, man. So it's more than just the music. So I'll get into just the 9 elements that I believe is breakdancing, MCing, graffiti, DJing, beatboxing, street fashion, street knowledge, street language, street entrepreneurialism, trade, and business. You know what I'm saying? So those are the elements of hip-hop that we strive to be a part of, and I hope everybody else strives to be a part of hip-hop in that way as well. You might not be able to touch all of them. You might not be a rapper. You might not be a producer. You know what I'm saying? But you might be able to touch some areas. I think we talked about this before, Dari, about just being involved, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So those are just the, you know, elements of hip-hop, and make sure you study that, man, and don't just think it's just rap. So let's get to the new people on the show. I don't need your opinion no more, Dari, because you've been here more than enough times.
For real.
Gary, quick, top 5 MCs. Who you got?
Yeah, I just updated my list. This is what I got.
It always change.
Yeah. I got Nas. I got Redman. I got let's see, Andre 3000. I got Black Thought. And after listening to some stuff recently, man, I gotta put Biggie up there, man.
You put Biggie back. You put Biggie in there.
Yeah, because I heard Royce up there. Because I like my MCs to MC, and I can't deny that out of anything that Biggie is an MC, he can give you the rugged shit, he can give you the smooth shit.
Yeah.
And the shit was excellent. So I'm not kind of cringe when everybody put him in top 5, but when I listen to that dude, it's like, dude, this dude he just cold. He made 2 albums.
But you know that's the argument as to why a lot of people don't put him there is because he only made 2 albums.
No, but I don't care, yo.
That's not his fault though. He died.
Yeah, that's not his fault, of course, but it's just, you know.
It was easy to him. It was easy to him. Just like when you hear like Black Thought rap, the shit just comes easy to him, man.
It just sound easy.
Yep.
They come off the top. That shit is written. It's all slick, and it's like you like cats that make you think about some shit. You could party and jam to the music, but you want cats to kind of make your brain go like, oh shit, oh man, damn, let me rewind that.
Yeah.
Cats that make you do that, and cats that touch on a lot of cultural shit, different references. That's Redman in a nutshell. Redman seen and touched on so much shit that he puts in a rhyme, and that shit just be like, what? How the fuck did you think about putting that in a rhyme? All right, you know.
Yeah.
So that's where I go with my 5.
That's a dope top 5.
That's a fire list.
But you know what I say, man. I always say the music you listen to tells a lot about the person you are.
Right.
So that's why I always do. People probably listen to this podcast like, why this nigga always do who your top 5?
Yeah.
Because that lets me know where your mindset is as far as what type of music you listen to.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I know how to direct the conversation. Because if you come up here and tell me your top 5, 21 Savage, Drake, Lil Wayne, Dylan, and Dylan, then we gonna have a problem up in here. You know what I'm saying?
Word. And you can tell by his list, he's a true hip-hop fan. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, all those cats, you hear cats that say that, man, all they care about is just try to party and just zone out, man. They ain't trying to...
I know. So, Ali, what's your top 5? Let's go quick. Who your top 5? Since remember, you 17.
Yeah.
He's the youngin' in the building. So, everybody has the disclaimer when he gives out his top 5. So, who your top 5?
My favorite rapper is Joey Badass.
I don't ask your favorite rapper. We said top 5.
I know,
top 5.
I don't got a top 5. I got a number 1, then I got 4 random names I can
Yeah,
throw
that's
out
fine.
there.
That's your top 5.
So
Yeah.
Joey's my number 1.
Joey?
Then, Lupe Fiasco is in there somewhere.
Lupe.
Little Sims from London. She's dope.
Yo, you the first person. You mean I put you on to her? You the first person to say that. Okay, Lil Sims. All right.
And then Kirk Knight from Pro Era. He's in the same
Kirk
group.
who?
Kirk Knight.
I
from
never
Pro
heard of
Era.
him.
He's in the same group as Joey.
Say it's Joey. I know Pro
and
Area.
then this dude named Saba from Chicago.
Saba, yo, they had him on the Ambrosia for Heads. He was up for one of the top albums of 2018.
I played him for you before. You got to hear it again. Yeah.
Well, that's what's up.
Hey, young bro is on point with Saba, man. That's a cold album right there.
Is it? See, I haven't listened to it.
That's a good album.
Is it rap?
Yeah.
What is it?
It's it's rap. It's hip hop. But he does like
hip-hop.
melodic stuff too. But it's all in the vein of like boom bap and stuff like that. Yeah.
He got bars. He got flow. The beats is pretty nice on there.
Good
and I mean, his
storytelling.
topics is pretty deep, man.
Where he from?
Chicago.
He from Chicago.
Yeah,
okay.
West Side Chicago.
Yeah, because Ambrosia for Heads did a battle thing of best albums of 2018. I forgot how many albums they picked, 20 or 30 albums, and they did like a bracket, like a NCAA bracket, this album against this album. You know what I mean?
He was in plenty list.
So
Year-end list.
and they had a vote. It was a fan vote.
Yeah.
So I think that album was on there, and I was like, "Who the fuck is that?" He made it to like the Final Four in the whole thing.
He's nice.
But
That's a very high quality album.
I'm gonna have to check that out then, man. Since you said that, man, I'm gonna really have to check that out, man, because I'll be having to get some confirmation from some cats sometimes, because it be too much shit out here, dog. And you be like, hold on, man, this shit turned out to be some bullshit.
Yeah, there's so much going on. It's super lit. Hey, but listen, man, I took notes this time. I got a top 5, but it's a new top 5, like current.
You
that
got
I'm
a
fucking
current
with
top
right
5?
now.
Okay,
Yeah.
give it up.
So
Let's
these
do
new
it.
cats,
Let's
I want
do it.
everybody to check out. You
Okay.
got Cambada, of course, from New Haven, Connecticut. You got Etho from Hempstead, New York. Check out Etho. He's ill.
Okay.
The God Fahim, Chicago/Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? Doja Cat from LA. I always want to throw a female in my shit, which most brothers don't do. And Atleek, my son. You know what I'm saying?
You put him in your top 5 all the time.
Yeah, that's mandatory.
Word.
So yeah, check those out. It's all fire.
I guess I'll throw mine in there too, man. I guess KRS-One, Nas, Sean Price, Redman, Black Thought. Bam, quick,
Bong bong.
bang bang. You know what I'm saying?
Word.
And tomorrow I might throw Styles P in there because
Yeah.
you never know.
Dime bag.
You know what I'm saying? So that's good. It's dope. Some dope top 5s from y'all, man. It's a good way to get the conversation started. So what? Some of them dope. Those top 5 MCs, man, are some nice, dope legacy artists, man. So have you ever seen any of them in concert? Any of your favorite MCs? So I was gonna say, what was one of your dopest concerts you ever been to?
Nah, Stillmatic tour.
The Stillmatic
Yeah,
tour.
when he came to the rave, that shit was
What
amazing.
year was that?
When the album came out, in 01, I think.
Yeah, I don't even remember.
So it
what
was
year
around
came
that.
out.
It was around that time, dog. But
At
that
the
shit was
rave?
amazing. Yup. He had the fucking van parked in front with the Stillmatic art splashed
on
on
the
it
stage
and
and shit, or just in front of the building?
in front of the building.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? But he came out though, man. That shit was dope. It was amazing. I was a little younger back then too, so it's like seeing one of your heroes. You know what I'm saying?
Most definitely. Any other ones, man, come to mind, man? Some dope concerts you been to?
When we was younger, man, like this was in the 90s, dog. Wu-Tang was in Milwaukee heavy.
You remember the first Wu-Tang concert that was in Milwaukee that we went to at the Mecca when Capadonna had that dinner plate ass motherfucking chain on? Yep. I still remember
Killer
that
Army
shit, dog.
was there, nigga.
Yes.
The only person that wasn't there was like Dirty and Killer Priest, you know what I'm saying?
I think he was.
60-Second Assassin was there. Sons of Man was there because they used to be on Channel 14, Access Television, and they were showing the interviews backstage.
Yeah.
Master Killer, all that shit.
I remember
Ninth
that,
Prince.
dog.
Yup.
Yeah,
that was
dude.
the
I
shit,
just remember,
dog.
Capadonna had that big ass dinner plate ass piece on his chain, yo. What about you, Gary, man? Some dope concerts you been to? Maybe your best concert you ever been to?
Well, disclaimer, I know we're a hip-hop topic, but some of the best songs I've been to hip-hop.
Anything, man. Yeah.
But, well, shit, I'm about to get violated here, man. But
okay, let's see what you got.
The best concert where I felt like I paid worth the ticket price was, shit. You probably kicked me off the show. The Beyonce B-Day tour in 2007.
Oh, hey, man, I bet you she put on a cold ass show.
Can't hate on that.
That show was cold. She touched on all her songs. That album was pretty good to me. And she gave like 10 minutes of Destiny Child because that's all I could stand.
Yeah, dog. Yeah.
But getting back on topic for hip hop, I want to see the Wu, but the closest thing to it, I saw Ghost and Ray do the 20-year.
Did you see that, dog, for the purple tape? Yeah, I went to Chicago by myself at the fucking House of Blues to see that shit
fan.
on like a Wednesday.
That's love, nigga.
I was tired as a bitch when I went to work the next day.
But you had that memory, though.
Yeah, but where was they at down there in Houston?
Yeah, they was at the House of Blues down here in Houston. Me and my homie went and checked that shit out, bought the little Wu shirts and everything, and was just rocking to that shit.
Dope.
Yeah,
they hit every song on that fucking
tape. They did every song, yo. Every song.
For real?
Yes, every song. Who was the opening acts for that show down there? Because the one I went to, man, I think it was Rakim, yo. It was Rakim, and then they came out.
Oh, shit, really?
Yeah.
No, they had a local...
They had a local cat too, but then it was Rakim, and then he came out. Yeah.
I couldn't even remember who the local cat was.
Okay. It was just a local cat. There wasn't no other established artists or nothing.
Nah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yep. So it was them, and then who else I checked out? Let's see. The Jay-Z and the Justin Timberlake shit was pretty cool.
Oh, okay.
Because I didn't realize how great a performer Justin Timberlake was in person. Jay-Z, I was kind of like,
You know, Jay-Z, he just stand up there and just rap into the microphone and shit. Give some hand movements and shit. You know what I mean? But outside of that, like, it's kind of different when you go to like rap shows, because if you rocking and rapping along with the shit, you ain't really thinking about like a performance or whatever. You just get to see them cats live. Yeah, like Run the Jewels came down here a couple of years ago. I checked them out. That was pretty dope. Who else was down here recently? Oh, the internet put on a dope show recently, and I went to that one. Oh, okay. So I like that a lot. You know what they are, right? Oh, okay.
Internet.
No, I haven't heard.
Yeah.
I might have.
Internet kind of was fucking with Tyler the Creator and them, that Odd Future shit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, one of the members is from Odd Future.
Yeah, I ain't never really get into the Odd Future campaign.
But they are for real, like they are for real band and shit, and make like
Neo-soul.
all of them play instruments and shit like that.
They got some good ass music, dog.
Okay,
They
all
do.
right. Okay.
My boy put me on them. I be fucking with him sometimes.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yep. So that's what I got for mine.
For me, man, I'm a bit of a concert junkie, so I've been to a lot of fucking shows, man, all over the fucking country, to be honest with you, a lot of places. I would have to say the best concert I've ever been to was Rock the Bells, 2008 and 2009. It was in a spot right outside of Chicago. You ever hear the Rock the Bells tour?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
How about you, Gary? You ever hear the Rock the Bells tour?
I heard of it, but I never was quite sure where they would come through at.
It kind of
That was with Nas and Lauryn Hill, that one, right?
I think they did Nas and Lauryn Hill. That was towards the end.
I wanted to go to that shit. I was
if I'm not mistaken. I think that was towards the end. But the one, I got it up here on the computer, man, because Rock the Bells, 2008. Because I wanted to just name off the cast that was there. Yeah, the Lauryn Hill one was the one in 2010. So the one at Tinley Park, that's the one So the one in 2009, man, that was the headline was Nas and Damian Marley.
Yeah, I
that was
remember
when that album first came out.
Yeah, Distant Relatives.
Yeah, so and this was the year they had 2 stages. They had the main stage and they had one called the Paid Dues stage. The main stage was Nas and Damian Marley was the headline, but then it was the Roots, Common, Busta Rhymes, EPMD.
Oh shit!
Dog, Reflection, Tech Nine, Reflection Eternal, Raekwon, and then the second stage was the RZA, the GZA, Slaughterhouse, Slum Village, Evidence of Alchemist, MOP, Buckshot, KRS-One. You remember they had that album?
Oh,
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, dog.
Wow.
All these other cats, I don't know who they were. Mickey Fax, I remember him from back then.
Yeah.
And then it was hosted by KRS-One, Supernatural, Murs, and Pete Rock.
That's an overdose
Dog,
show.
Supernatural, dog, Supernatural, he did like this set. I still remember he did a set. They let him, because, you know, he's freestyle, just cold as a motherfucker.
Yep.
So he did this set, man, where he came up on the stage, and he was like, okay, I'm a rap, but I want everybody to just throw something on stage.
Right.
And then whatever you throw on stage, I'm a rap about it.
Yeah.
So Cass, dog, he
started that shit, dog.
Pete Rock threw on the beat. And he started flowing, and motherfuckers throw a hat up there.
I would love to do that
Motherfuckers
shit.
threw a motherfucking blunt up there.
How long did he
Like,
rap for?
Man, like 10, 15 minutes straight, yo. Like, he killed
Damn.
that shit.
He lives up to his name, man.
Yeah, man, yeah. And then the one before that, though, in 08, was it 08 or 07? The 08 one was, I want to say, oh yeah, so the 08 one was, the headline was A Tribe Called Quest. So did y'all ever watch the Tribe Called Quest, that documentary?
Yes.
Did you see that?
Yeah,
Yes.
Michael Rappaport.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw
Yes.
that one.
So
Yep.
did you see when they was on tour and they was arguing backstage and
Yep.
all that shit?
Yep.
Yeah.
That was the show I was at.
Word. That's
Yeah.
ill,
Oh, hell
son.
no.
That's
That
ill.
was the show I was at in Tinley Park in Chicago.
Yeah.
Because I still remember when they came out, Q-Tip came out by itself. And we was like, damn, where Fife at? You know what I mean? What the fuck?
Right.
And Q-Tip did a couple of his solo songs, you know what I mean, by itself. And then, you know, then Fife came out and they was just both on separate sides of the stage. You could tell something was
Damn.
going on. And then when I saw that documentary,
Right.
I was like, that's this.
Put it all
Because
together.
you remember De La Soul was there talking about trying to break them up and shit like that.
Yeah.
So in that show, it was Tribe Called Quest was the headline. And then it was the Far Side. And then it was Nas, Ghostface, Raekwon, Rakim, Mos Def, Kweli, and then De La Soul was there.
Yeah.
So De La Soul, Method Man, Redman did they shit. Dead Prez, Murs, yeah, and Lil Brother was there. So that was the show where they was on that documentary, dog, when they was arguing and fighting with each other.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Hell no.
Yeah, man. So them was the 2 dopest concerts I ever been to,
Yeah.
man. It was just so much shit and a bunch of people that I wanted to see. You know what I'm saying? But now,
That 2009 one that shit sounded legit, man.
dog, and it
Fuck.
was all day because it started at 12 in the afternoon and it didn't end till like midnight. It was like a all day thing. You know what I'm saying? So, and then, but for now, I guess in newer times, my shit now is A3C. So I don't know if you probably never been
That's
to
in
A3C.
Atlanta, right?
In Atlanta.
Yeah.
You follow A3C?
I've heard about it.
You heard about
I know
it?
a lot of artists that perform there.
Dude, A3C is like, for me, it's like the hip hop pilgrimage, yo, for real.
Yeah.
If
I'ma
you
do
still
one
do
one day.
music, you know, because I like it because during the day they do a lot of workshops, a lot of classes, you know what I mean, about marketing and making beats. You can go to the SA Institute and they do artist interviews, producer interviews. So you can sit down and actually talk to these cats, you know what I'm saying? That is so, and then at night, they got a main stage, they do a bunch of shows, and then they have a little shows at the other little small bars and stuff on the strip, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I didn't get into the notion of traveling by myself to go to shows until really a couple of years ago.
yeah.
Because I finally, in all those years that I stayed out in D.C., the D.C. area, I never even drove up to Philly to go to the Roots picnic to check that out.
Man,
So I finally-
dog, I always want to
Yeah.
go to the Roots picnic.
So I went back in 2017, and that's when they had Pharrell as the headliner, and I caught a little bit of Thundercats performance because I think he's pretty dope.
You went to the Roots picnic?
Yeah, back in 2017, so almost 2 years ago.
Okay.
I just went up there dolo, man, because you know, being married and shit, you be like, I don't want to go nowhere with my wife, but I got all that dumb shit. I was like, nah, if I'm gonna go to something, I'm gonna go.
You gonna go, man? Yeah. You should have told me, man, because I remember me and my brother was talking about going to that, man, hitting the Roots picnic, dog, one year, just like fly up for the weekend. You know what I mean?
Yep, sure it is. So that's what I did. I hit that up, and so and then they also have that other music festival, that Soundset in Minnesota, that I want to check out.
Dude, me and my brother was supposed to go to that one last year too, man, but we couldn't find no like crib to stay at. We was trying to get like an Airbnb or something. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because the Woo was up there for that, and so that was part of the reason why I wanted to go. Yeah. I said, well, that would give me a chance to catch the Woo, and I know they was gonna do like they tribute to their album.
Yeah, I've seen the Woo plenty of times. But I'll tell you a quick story, man, from that. So we was gonna go to Soundset, so we book a room on Airbnb, right? And you know, on Airbnb, you gotta have your picture up there and stuff.
For real?
So yeah, you have to. So I booked a room, pay for it, get confirmed, whatever. A day later, the dude cancels my room.
Yeah.
Right? Now you can't do that.
Can't do that.
Not on Airbnb no more. You can't, right? It was a white dude. Of course, he saw I was black, and and he canceled my room, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? That was like the last room left. You know what I'm saying? Because we was only gonna go for one day. We was gonna drive up there, go to the shows, sleep in the room, and get up in the morning and leave. Like we just needed a room to sleep in,
right?
You know. And he canceled it, man. Yeah, and it's come to find out they ended up kicking him off of Airbnb, kicking him off the service because you can't do that shit no more because that shit was happening a lot before. So that was just a side note, man.
It's money green,
Soundset was dope, man. Like, yeah, that was last year, wasn't it? What they did Wu-Tang? Was it last year or 2016?
That was last year. Last year was the Wu-Tang, and they had some other acts up there that I wanted to check out. But I had just traveled earlier that month, and then I knew I was going to be traveling to Atlanta, so trying to sleaze a little trip up to Minnesota just wasn't going to work.
Yeah,
so
that wasn't going. Yeah.
so depending on who they have this year, I may try to swing around and do it this year instead.
Oh, okay.
Kicking back to the A13, the
A3C,
Outkast, A1C, sorry,
A3C. Yeah, everybody always mix it up.
Outkast
A3C
did their
Like
20th.
Outkast, yeah, you know what? At the A3C, but it wasn't Outkast. They had a bunch of bands. They had a bunch of artists actually do the album. The ATLians.
Okay.
I went to that A3C, and we was like, oh yeah, Outkast. Oh damn! It was a bunch of.
Oh yeah, I would have been
for real.
So they had they had like a live band, and then it was a bunch of different artists that was from Atlanta that rapped all the songs. You know what I mean off the album.
Shit, okay.
And then it was crazy because you know what happened? It was some of them niggas that didn't know the words to the song.
Right.
I'm like,
Rich boy corn
really?
niggas.
Yeah, man.
Come on.
Yeah, dog.
I would have been hurt. That would have hurt my feelings.
I think that was the year. I don't want to mess it up here, but it was one year at A3C they did the boot camp. It was it was called the boot camp picnic. So they like had the whole Sunday, and they had like the VIP dog you could pay to go backstage. They had a barbecue. It's called boot camp barbecue and shit. You go backstage, but everybody was there. This was when Sean Price was still alive. Everybody was there except him. That's all I wanted to see. We had me and my brother out in the crowd like we about to see Sean P.
Man.
He was the only one that wasn't there. Dog, they even brought out Lil Jamal, dog, from Illegal.
For real?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Damn.
Yeah. It's grown ass now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I seen him on YouTube recently spitting fire. On the
and
real.
he could still spit, yo.
Yep.
Buckshot was like, I got somebody for you. Man, dude came out the back. Me and my brother was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
So
I had his album. I bought his album when it came out. On the real.
Hell yeah. So A3C, man, dope. Gary, you want to go, man? We're going October. It's always the first week in October, like the first weekend in October. So this year, I think is October 4th, 5th, 6th.
I'll mark it on my calendar, man. Atlanta is a hot skip and jump from over here.
Yeah, from your crib, man. You can just drive over there if you want to. Shit.
Hey, I was going to say, too, remember Jam for Peace, nigga?
Man, Jam for Peace,
Mary
back
J.
in the day.
Blige,
You remember that,
Tribe
Gary?
Called Quest, Naughty by Nature. I went to that shit, too.
You never went to Jam for Peace?
No, I did not.
The best ones was like the first two.
Exactly.
And then
It was
turned
one of them I went
Yeah,
to.
it wasn't Jam for Peace no more. They was
Right.
out there fighting and
Ghetto
beating each
shit.
other up and
Right.
shit at
Yep.
Jam for
And
Peace.
that's exactly why I didn't go. Right there. I didn't have time for that because when we would go to Afrofest and all of that stuff, everything would be chill early on. You get to see all the local acts.
Yep.
And then as it got later on and more cats come up there, they was drinking and getting,
Yep.
doing all that stuff and getting belligerent. I was like, nah. And then folks started running through the crowd. I'm like, nah, I'm good on that.
Yep,
man.
good on that. I seen some dope concerts at Afrofest before, man. We were supposed to see somebody, but they canceled. It turned out they had they had somebody fill in. So we like, oh, okay. Man, it turned out to be Benny Siegel and Freeway at Afrofest one year.
That's dope.
When they was in the prime of their career, dog. I was
State
like,
property.
oh, shit.
And we performed there too, though. Remember that shit?
Yeah, we performed there at
Yup,
Summerfest
that
once
shit was
before.
dope. On the real, I'll never
Yeah.
forget that.
So that's what's up, man. Some dope concerts, man. How about you, man? Well, how about what's some dope 17-year-old concerts you done been to?
Well, I went to when I was like 11. I went to see TDE,
Oh, okay.
and I went to see Kendrick.
Oh, shit. Where you see Kendrick at?
At the rave here in Milwaukee.
Oh, okay.
But I had strep throat, so I couldn't really see the whole concert. So I don't
Yeah.
really count that one because I was only in the crowd for Absol, and then when Kendrick came, I was in the bathroom, and I came and I got like the last
You're
10
like, it's
minutes of his
over.
I was
set.
salty. It was his first
We was
concert I
late too.
took
Like
him
we missed J-Rock's thing and everything.
Yeah.
But I went to see Schoolboy Q and Joey Badass in 2016 on Schoolboy Q's Blankface
That
tour
was a Blank Face tour.
in
Yeah.
Phoenix, Arizona. That was dope on a school night too. It was nice.
dedicated.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit. Yeah, that's what's
And
up.
we had the concert was crazy. It was like in like the stage like circled around, like the stage rotated and stuff. So like
Oh, shit.
it was like an arena and the stage rotated.
That's raw.
And so like 1 minute Schoolboy would be
So,
facing
yeah,
us.
because, you know how sometimes in the arenas, the stage would be like in
Yeah.
the back and you got to kind of try to sit
Yeah.
around it and
Yeah.
see. So they
Yeah.
was like, fuck that. We selling all the seats up in here. We just going to spin this motherfucker.
The only
That's
thing I
raw.
didn't like though was that
Yeah.
they kept the chairs there. So like we had to like stand up with like the chairs folded up behind us.
Yeah.
And so like when it was time for like mosh pits and stuff, people was getting hurt.
So what
For
was the
real?
chair leaning against, though?
It was like steps.
Oh, okay.
So, like, you had to
Whack.
move your chair when the stage moved?
No, you would have to like. They just left the chairs there, like they folded them all up and just threw them on the ground.
Oh, damn. Wow.
We were just standing on top of chairs.
Oh,
Damn.
shit.
But it was
Oh,
fun.
hell
though.
no.
We were still jumping around. It was tight.
Yeah.
Yeah, see,
That's
man,
what's
when
up.
you
Yeah,
get
that was
40
like my one official concert I've been to so far.
Yeah, when you get 40, man, you ain't doing mosh pits no more.
Oh no.
For real, I won't never with that type of shit, though. I'm not
I mean, I
with
wasn't
all
in the
that.
mosh pit. I was jumping though, but yeah, the mosh
You
pit
don't do
was
the
like
jumping
on the
no
other
more
side.
neither, man. You get
Yeah.
tired of that shit,
Yeah.
man. Especially you been drinking out in the hot sun or some
Yeah.
shit. You like, fuck, man, I ain't jumping around you, nigga.
It was smoking weed in the crowd and everything.
Yeah.
It was tight.
My
Facts.
brother, though, when I be in Atlanta, though, you know Marcus, man, he like 40, whatever. He way older than me.
Yeah.
He be wanting to go all the way to the front of the stage and shit. I'm like, nah,
Yeah.
man, I ain't doing that with you no more, man.
I was
Yeah.
like 4 rows away from the stage. Like Schoolboy did a stage dive. I was trying to catch him, but they wouldn't bring him back. Like they
Yeah.
kept
Oh,
him in
yeah.
the front. I was like, it's cool.
Damn.
Go to a Meth and Red concert. Them
Oh, yeah.
cats
Word,
always
yeah.
stage dive.
Yeah.
So,
They walk on the crowd.
yeah.
For real.
I've been to another dope concert I went to, man. I know everybody off of Kanye, but I will tell you, I went to see Kanye at Summerfest. This was before he got into
I
all
heard
his
his shows
crazy.
are really good.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
was before he got into all his
Mm-hmm.
crazy shit. It was him and what's his other dude, Kid Cudi. When him and they,
Yeah.
Other dude.
Yeah, I forgot his name. I don't really
Yeah,
listen to him.
yeah,
It was
yeah.
crazy because when we was in the crowd, everybody knew all the words to his songs, and me and the girl I was with, we sitting there looking at each other like
Who that?
I knew who
He's
Kid
for a
Cudi
certain
was.
audience.
I just didn't know, like, yeah, I knew who he was. I just didn't like know the words to his songs.
Like,
They
if
had
you-
their lighters in the air and shit, like it was
Yeah.
Prince, nigga. I'm like, oh,
Loving that shit.
Majority of the time, if you're a big fan of Kanye, like OD, you're a
Yeah.
big fan of Kid Cudi too.
oh,
So,
okay,
like,
all right. So, but
they
that
come out
show,
in tandem.
what you say, Gary?
And a lot of people connected with Kid Cudi because he made a lot of that. I don't want to call it emo music, but it's just kind of like, you know, he dealt with a lot of things with depression and all that stuff. And he's come
That's
out
what
since
it
and talked
sounded
about
like.
it.
Yeah.
That's
And
what it
so-
sounded
and
like.
so-
Yeah.
So you got kids and everything that kind of connected with what he was saying. And then, you know, he made it sound, you know, kind of slick and stuff like that. So I got the appeal. I wasn't into him at first. Over time, I kind of was able to go back and appreciate the music he was making. Now, when he did some rock band shit, I didn't get into that. That shit was whack.
They said
But
the album was
his-
horrible.
Did he? He did
Yeah.
a rock. He did a rock. Some rock.
He did a
shit.
rock
They did
album.
like a rock album, and I was like, nah, bro. Stick to what the other shit you was doing.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, but yeah, that show, man, that show Kanye did, that shit was. It was during Summerfest, but he was at the amphitheater, so he didn't have to pay
Which
extra.
album was it? Was it,
This might have been when he was.
Dark Twisted Fantasy?
I think so. Yeah.
That's his best album.
Yeah, that to me that was one of his best albums. I think that's when that was because he did some stuff off of 808s and Heartbreaks too. So
Joe Rogan is about to interview.
but he
him.
had a dope ass show, man. Like he had like a bunch of African dancers in the background.
dope.
He had like this big ass man, it looked like a rock climbing wall. But it was a big ass sculpture or something, like a bunch of face. It was dope as hell.
That was probably either 808s or My Beautiful Dark Twisted
Yeah,
Fantasy.
the one it was like from the cover of one of the albums, I think. But it was, you know, and he had, but the dope shit was he had all these dancers, yo. That shit was so, man, that shit was dope as hell. So that was one of the dopest concerts I've been to too. I just wanted to add that one in there, man. So, them some dope concerts, man.
Hell yeah,
for sure. Since we talking about some old school Kanye, man, I was thinking about some of the first albums I ever bought, man, and that I got into. Because it's crazy being, you know, the age we are right now, us three. You can look back and say Kanye is old now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like when he first came out, you could say that's like, to us, that's more like old school now and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, what was that? With the first joint was what was that? What was
College
the name of that
Dropout.
first? College Dropout came out 15 years ago.
Yeah,
15
man.
years ago.
That's like 03, 04 or some shit, right?
Yeah.
04, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Because right around this time, that's when Slow Jam was starting to make his rounds. Not only for Kanye, but it blew up for Twista too. But it was starting to make his rounds. And Kanye's album was just about to get ready to come out.
that was at that time, wasn't it too?
Mm-hmm.
Ah,
Yep.
yeah.
He had it locked, man. Then he started resurrecting niggas and shit. Not resurrecting, but boosting their careers.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
but
saying?
he was hot at for a moment there, man.
Yeah,
he
for
was hot
sure.
for a moment.
So
So
we was just watching him on Chappelle's show with Common. He
First
looked at
three
mad
albums.
young. You know
oh
what I'm saying?
yeah.
Kanye touched on a lot of people's project around that time before his shit came out. He had shit with Ludacris.
Remember he did the Ludacris move? He didn't do the not move.
He did stand. What's that? When you
Not
move, I
move, you
move. That
move.
shit.
Yeah, that's When I
Stand
move,
up.
you move. Just like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, because he was in the video.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of the first major songs he produced on. So that got me thinking about some of the old, like, first albums I bought, man, and, you know, that connected me with hip hop. And I know for me, man, the first album I ever bought was a compilation album. It was crazy. It was a CD. My mom's mom had just bought me like this boom box with a CD player on the top. Y'all remember those? Shit, you had a boom box. You
Shit.
smack the CD player down on the top. Like, you know what I'm saying? And they had like the little mic input and shit. You know what I mean? Record the shit into it with the little tape deck. So, but I don't know if you remember, Gary. Y'all might not remember Audio Vibe, man. It used to be on like 24th and
Oh yeah.
Audio Vibe. Yeah, you remember Audio Vibe?
Man, when I would catch the bus, when I worked at George Webb, one of my favorite things I love to do on Tuesdays, and I love having to work on Tuesday because that meant I had to walk past Audio Vibe.
Yeah.
To catch the bus on Capitol and Tetonia. Because I used to work at the George Webb out past Tetonia and Good Hope. So you had to catch the 12 on the Capitol right there to head out there. So I was like, good. I'll go by Audio Vibe and see what they got in there. The only thing that pissed me off about Audio Vibe, they had cats in there was cool, but it was this one old dude with a mustache and some glasses that when they started putting those damn explicit labels, they put those parental advisory stickers on it.
Yeah.
And anytime you asked for that tape and he was there, you was not getting that shit.
Yeah, he wouldn't let you get it.
he's like, nah, man, you got that the pants in here. And I was like, come on, man.
It's just a CD. Like,
I've
really?
never had that problem before.
Yeah,
Nah,
that's
now you
super
don't.
whack.
But
That's
you gotta
super
think
whack.
back then when I was going down, that was when parental advisory labels first started
Yeah,
getting
that
on
was some
albums.
new shit.
They started like right around 92 is when you started seeing those labels. It was like
Two Live
that big
Crew.
ass label.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah.
Two Live Crew made that possible.
Once Luke won his case, they said, okay, y'all can say all this shit on y'all records, but we're going to advise the parents.
Yep.
And a lot of places wasn't really tripping about it, but that one dude was not playing. He was like, you know what? No, you ain't getting that shit, bro. So I always would have to wait until he walked to the back.
And then
some other niggas come there, and I'm like, yeah, I want that tape. And he's like, all right, here you go.
Yeah. So I went there, man, on it and bought. It was a compilation album, man. And it had like the old what was on there? The Cypress Hill, the first Cypress Hill first joint. It had some NWA on there. It was like a whole just list of all just random. It had Ghetto Boys, My Mind Playing Tricks
Shit, they used
on
to be
me.
on the box all the time.
Yeah,
and shit.
man. It was like one of them type of things, man. And So that was like my first like really rap album that I bought to myself. Now before that, man, I used to listen to all my brother's shit because he was older than me. But that was the first album I just bought, man. That was, I had my own money. I could be like, yeah, I'm going to get something,
Yeah.
And I remember being an Audio Vibe looking through all the albums, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to get more bang for my buck. I'm going to get this one with all the dope songs on it instead of just one album.
Yeah. Smart.
Give me a compilation, because you remember back in the day, compilations used to be the shit.
For real.
So
When they met something.
What about you, Dark, man? What was your first album you bought, man, that you spent your money on?
Man, I bought Don't Sweat the Technique, Eric B. and Rakim.
For real?
From Tape World in the Grand Avenue Mall, nigga.
Oh, yeah. That was old.
Oh shit!
Oh,
Man.
man. I was banging that shit too. That's when I was starting to have the money to purchase my own little shit. You know what I'm saying? Moms and them would take me to the mall and shit, and that's what I grabbed, because when that video first came out, I was like, I need that whole album. And a quick little side note, I learned recently that if you look in the video, Wyclef is playing the cello.
Is he?
Word is born. If you watch the video, Wyclef is in the background playing the cello for that shit. And he broke that down on, I forgot what show it was, but he broke that shit down in an interview somewhere. And they showed the clip, know what I'm saying? But
That's what's up, man. That was a dope ass. That's a dope first album.
Hell
How about
yeah.
you, Ali, man? What was your first album you spent your hard-earned money on?
Hard. I remember I went to Exclusive one time, and I bought Souls of Mischief 93 to Infinity, and I bought No Man's Land. So I bought those two Souls albums the same day, same time.
That's what's up, man. He went old school on it, man.
I didn't know who they were. I just bought them. I thought they was Sons of Man at first. Like the name sounded
for real?
similar.
So you got.
So I thought it was like Killer Priest, but it wasn't.
It was
So I
Souls
brought
of
it
Mischief.
home, and my dad was like, "Yo, what you know about Souls of Mischief?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bought it with bought it with some money.
Did you like it though?
Yeah, I liked it. I gotta listen to those albums again, but
You still listen
I
to them,
definitely
right?
like 93
The
to better than
93
No
to
Man's.
Infinity, yeah. That was like they introductory
Real.
classic
Shout out
shit.
to Mook. That was our shit.
Yeah,
Uh,
y'all cats used to listen to
Tajay.
that all the
Delta
time.
Funky Homo
Tajay,
Sapien.
my favorite.
The whole little crew, man.
Hell
Yup,
yeah.
Casual.
Hell yeah.
All them cats,
and they
man.
still doing their thing, and they got their own merchandise and all that. They lit.
What about you, Gary, man? What was your first album you bought, man? What was the first one they let you buy up in Audio Vibe?
The first tape I had bought for me, well, I had moms give me DJ Jazzy Jeff. He's the DJ on the rapper shit.
Oh, yeah.
So that's the one that mom first. So that was the first rap tape I ever had and I owned that I didn't directly buy.
Yeah.
But later that summer, when I had a few dollars, I went and bought a tape. I had to decide between Salt with a Deadly Pepper and fucking De La Soul, and I was like, damn, I like that. I like Me, Myself, and I, but I don't know how the rest of this album sounds. But I'm gonna go with Salt and Pepper. Dude, I played like 2 songs off that shit. And
you bought Salt and Pepper over De La Soul?
The thing was, I wasn't really into. It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird, Chris. I kind of flipped back and forth like with eras and how to listen to rap, because a lot of the rap I was into, at least after that I bought DJ Jazzy Jeff and stuff like that, I kind of started getting more into like the West Coast, gangster shit, because that's my cousin.
Yeah.
And I knew I couldn't get that tape,
So I couldn't get that one.
So I said, let me get somewhere, I might be a little familiar with some of the music, some of the videos and shit like that. And I was like, I didn't know nothing about Native Tongues, anything. I just like songs. I like songs by Tribe, but I didn't know they was on a crew or whatever.
Oh, yeah, at the time, yeah.
Yes, yeah. So that, of course, that was shit I found out like immediately after the fact. But I was like, what the hell? I was like, what the fuck did I buy this for? I just should have just bought the other tape and just took a chance. So
Right.
yeah. So from that point on, I made a point of figuring out who the hell I was buying before I went and bought it.
For real.
Yeah. The first CD I bought was Into the 36 Chambers.
Man,
That was the
36
first CD.
Chambers,
That was
93.
Because up until that point, I bought all tapes. But then Mom got me a CD player like Christmas '93. I went to the store. I was like, if I'm gonna get a CD, I keep hearing so much about Wu-Tang Clan this, Wu-Tang Clan that.
Yeah.
Let the Man is cool. Protect the Nigga is cool. But I don't know anything about them. But I said, I ain't going to make the same fucking mistake when I bought that. I'm going to buy this CD, and I'm going to enjoy this shit. And, man, one of the best purchases ever. Best purchase ever.
Wu-Tang, yeah, that was one. I still remember when I bought it, man. I remember Mook was like, man, who that bullshit? When nobody listening to it at the time.
Yeah.
I'm like, dog, I'm telling you, man, this shit is
for real.
Is a banger. And look,
but think about where we were. Like, so even though we stuck in the Midwest and stuff like that, we had a lot of our musical influences and stuff like that was mainly West Coast. You got to remember Chronic.
Yeah.
And all that shit down, you know, so we you know, we were heavy into that. So a lot of the
we
East
listened
Coast
to
stuff,
everything, man. I know us more. We listened to a lot more East Coast at the time. We did this. I know I did West Coast.
Me too. Hell yeah.
Yeah. You definitely got me more into the East Coast stuff. Like you first put me on the Digging in the Crates by introducing me to that Lord Finesse album.
DITC, yeah, Lord Finesse, yeah, man.
Because this is what you did. So this is back in Morris. This is what you did. I was like, dang, I want to hear that Chris Cross tape, but I don't want to buy it. Because that joint might be like, yo, that Chris Cross tape, they got some beats. And I was like, okay, well, I said, make me a copy. You did.
Yeah.
But then you gave me that, and then on the flip side, you put Lord Finesse. And I'm like, he's like, yo, check this out, man. That dude is cold. And this was the
Return of the Funky Man, I think it was.
Yeah, Return of the Funky Man. That's what it was.
Yep, that was his first.
I was like, damn, this is cold as shit.
Yeah, that was when my brother was ordering us, man. He had a job. He used to buy all that shit. So we used to just, me and my brother, dog, we used to just copy the tapes, yo.
Man.
Yeah.
Man, that joint was cold. And actually, when I heard a lot of the jazz loops and stuff in that, and then I later on got into Daily Operation, which, you know, I know you didn't ask that. That's my favorite rap album of all time, but there's stuff surrounding that. That's why I picked that.
Yeah, that was dope.
But all the jazz loops and stuff like that between both albums, that's what got me looking in the credits.
Yeah, back then, them cats, because they did a lot of sampling, man, a lot of, and the name of the crew, Digging in the Crates. You know what I mean? And at the time, that's when you remember I was DJing. Yeah. You know what I mean? At the time, and I had first came across all my vinyl. I still got all that shit now. And that's when I first really got into vinyl, man, fucking with Digging in the Crates myself. So, because looking at, you know, them cats at D&D Studios and, you know, all that other good shit. So yeah, that was dope, man. So thinking about back then, those older albums, man, I want to get into another segment, man. We only did it once on here, didn't we, Dari? Liner notes.
Yeah.
I think we only did it once, man.
I was playing myself because I ain't know my shit, but I learned my lesson.
You learned your lesson this time.
I'm going to let you lead the way, and I'll follow, brother, when it comes to the liner notes. You are a producer, you know?
Yeah. So the first liner notes we did was Chronic 2000. The Chronic 2000 and Illmatic. So... and like I said, man, liner notes is a big staple of the golden era, man. Yep. The time that we grew up and the time that when we first started listening to music. You remember that on Gary? What album was that with Jay-Z was like on the beginning of the album when the intro song, and he was like, I know you roll your windows down. He said, if you like me, you got the reading the liner notes right now while the song playing. What was that, Gary? That was that volume 3? I think so.
No, I can't remember.
I think so. It was volume 3. But anyway, so that was what we used to do, man, liner notes. So I want to get into a nice little segment, man. We'll go through it pretty quick here, man. I got 2 albums, 2 of the dopest albums in rap and hip-hop history. And let's just kind of dig into it, man, see who some of the producers is, who wrote some of the songs. Because, you know, everybody was talking about ghost writers and stuff like that and producers and stuff like that. So, but this is where you find out about it at. In liner notes. Yeah. So this first one we're gonna do, man, is Outkast, AT Aliens. So this album dropped for all my OGs out there, August of 1996. So the intro song, "You May Die," y'all remember that? You can. The little, poem and shit. So that was, and this was a part of, the dopest production crews ever, man. Organized Noise.
Hell yeah.
So they produced that first one, man. And then the second one, 2 Dope Boys in a Cadillac.
Man, that's the shit, dog.
Remember that?
Yeah.
2 Dope Boys in a Cadillac. So that was Organized Noise. And so then the other one, AT Aliens. That was dope. That was produced by Outkast. And when I first listened to this album, yes, exactly. When I first listened to this album, I thought it was all Organized Noise who produced like
I
the
didn't
whole
know that.
album.
See?
Until I went to the liner notes. And so, yeah.
And that video is classic too.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Wheels of Steel, that was one of my favorite songs off that album. Outkast produced that one as well. On Cause that shit reminded me of like a skating song. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that shit was dope as hell, man. Jazzy Bell, y'all remember that one?
Man, that's the shit.
Yeah, I was playing that. I was playing that album. I was playing this album like last month because I made like a so-called Dirty South compilation. This ain't the new shit that's been playing. This is like all the stuff we kind of came up on and stuff that kind of came a little afterwards.
Yeah.
And AT Aliens definitely got a firm spot on there. That was one of the first. We keep talking about a bunch of first buys. That was that was the first CD I bought when I went off to school.
Oh, AT Aliens.
That shit. So that definitely was like fucking soundtrack of my first semester at school, man. Just just trying to adjust to everything. You know, being in the South, and then Andre wasn't bullshitting. The South definitely had something to say. These cats
That's a fact.
was spitting some real fucking shit
man.
on that album,
That's
and
one of my.
I was connecting with all of that, man.
That's
and
one of my. AT Aliens is one of my top 5 albums of all time.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Elevators, Me and You, that was produced by Outkast. Over the Woods, Outkast. Babylon, that was my favorite, one of my favorite joints on there. That was done by Organized Noise. Let's see, what was the other one? Mainstream, you remember that one? Floating
I
in
love
the
that one.
Mainstream. That was my shit, man, with Cujo from Goody Mob.
Cujo was kicking that shit in the beginning.
Yeah, and Timo, yeah. So that was produced by Organized Noise. That shit was dope. Decatur Song with Big Gip and Cool Breeze. Organized Noise did that one too. What was the other one on here? It was one that was kind of... This was the one that the Jazzy Bell remix. That was produced by Organized Noise, the one that
They
featured...
did have a remix, didn't
The one that featured with Babyface.
Yeah.
Growing Old was cold.
13th Floor, Growing Old, that was produced by Organized Noise. So a lot of production on there, man, was Organized Noise and Outkast. You know what I'm saying? So that album, man, it shocked me, like I said, because at first I thought it was just all Organized Noise.
Yeah, man. And the artwork, they put a comic book in there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
That cover is dope.
Yeah.
What'd you say, Gary?
Side note, did you guys ever catch the documentary that Organized Noise had?
Yeah, man, that was dope. I forgot about that. You never see that, Dari? I forgot what it was called, but it was just a documentary.
It was the Art of Organized Noise.
The Art of Organized
I
Noise.
might have
that's
seen
what it was.
clips of it, dog, but I never seen it in its entirety, though.
So watching that, and you know what? And that's crazy for a person that reads liner notes. I never really delved into the liner notes with that because I assumed it was all that. But in that documentary, and that's what made me go back and read it, they said, yeah, we had Organized Noise. We was doing everything. We was working on the stuff together. But on that second album, they came to us and they was talking about Big Boy and them said they wanted to branch out and do some of their own stuff because they figured the idea at some point was that they was going to have to be self-sustainable, and that if they blew up the way that they expected that they would, they wasn't going to necessarily be available to do all their music. So they had to be able to figure out how to do their music their own so they could get their own projects out without having to rely on Organized Noise. And so they did it on this album.
Yeah, so it shocked the hell out of me, man, when I looked at that, and there was a lot of Outkast did a lot of production on there themselves. So, but you don't learn that unless you check out some liner notes.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
It's like the special features on the DVD. You know what I'm saying? When you see what's going on behind the scenes.
Yeah, so let's get into this other one, man. Another classic album from 96. We actually did an episode about 1996. If y'all listening, man, go back and check that episode. I don't remember what number that was. But it was called Best Year in Hip Hop 1996. I think it might have been episode 3, or something like that. So this album was from 96, Jay-Z, Reasonable Doubt. I know that's one of y'all top albums, man. What about you, Gary? You like Reasonable Doubt, man? Which one of y'all you like that as one of Jay-Z classic albums?
I got it top 5. I wouldn't put it top 3. Only because I think this album, Jay was still I think he was kind of figuring out what his voice was gonna sound like.
Yeah, and what he was
I
gonna
think,
be.
but he got blessed with some marvelous production on here.
Facts.
Yeah, man, marvelous. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's get to the
So-
first song, "Can't Knock the Hustle" with Mary J. Blige. You know what I mean?
And that was a nice little radio cut. I mean, I know that wasn't the first single off of this, but it was a nice cut when they did bring it out. It was a nice cut to compliment the album.
Yeah. That's like the like a dope single. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
It felt epic too.
So that was produced by a cat named Nobody, Sean C, and
Remember him.
and Dahoud Darian. I don't know who none of them cats is, but it's a lot of writers on here too. I think that's from samples. I don't want to pop it up too big.
Yeah, writers is usually from samples.
Yeah, a lot of them are be from samples. So for that
I
one,
hate.
yeah. So what was the next one? Politics as Usual. That was produced by Sky Beats. So that was a dope producer from back
Jamming.
at the time. Yeah, man. Brooklyn's Finest featuring Notorious B.I.G.
Oh yeah, classic.
Classic song,
Classic.
man.
Orphanate.
That was produced by Dame Dash and Clark Kent.
Dame Dash.
Yeah. Yeah, he probably put a snare in there. Hey man,
Right.
put that snare in there.
Right.
It just cut the
know he
home
wanted
button
credit.
on and shit.
Yeah. He turned
cut on the mic.
he turned all the equipment on. That's it.
Sounds about right.
You know what I mean? So, and that had a lot of writers on it too. I don't remember what sample was with that. Yeah, this don't have the samples on there. If not for this one, it don't show the. I got the album up there though. I don't feel like looking for it, but I got the vinyl. Dead Presidents 2, produced by Sky Beats. Y'all remember that? I'm out for presidents to represent me.
Yup.
And Nas got a writer credit on there, so he still get paid for it. Yeah.
Message.
And Pete Rock. So, what's the other one? Feeling It. You're feeling it.
That's the shit.
That was produced by Sky Beats. Oh, yeah, a couple beats on here, man. The Evils.
That was my shit. That was on a clue tape,
classic
son.
Primo style.
You already know that's
Yep.
Premier. That was
Yeah.
Premier. You know Premier, man, when you hear a Premier beat,
Hell
man.
yeah.
So he did shock me a few times though on some MOP albums. He had some beats where I didn't think he did. And I was like, oh fuck, Premier did that.
Yeah.
So he step out sometimes. 22 Twos, produced by Sky Beats. He did a lot of shit on here, man. All right. Who else? Let's see another. Can I Live? That was another one, dope one on there.
Hell yeah.
That's Irv Gotti, ain't it?
Yep,
DJ
Irv Gotti produced that one.
Yep.
Yeah, he was big at the time, man. Yeah. So, what's the next one? Ain't No Nigga featuring Foxy Brown. That was produced by Jazzo. I didn't know that one.
OG.
I didn't know that either. I'm looking at this now. I'm like, damn.
Yeah, the OG. Yeah, man. Friend of Foe. That was another Premier joint.
That's the one I was waiting. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Was Sauce Money on that song? No, that's another
No,
one.
No,
I'm thinking
not on
about.
that one. Nah.
Sauce Money was on the later joint.
Yeah. Oh, he was on Bring It On. The next one after that, Coming in Beige, featuring Memphis Bleak. Now, to me, that was my favorite song on there, dog.
Yeah.
Like, that Memphis shit.
That was the shit.
Yeah,
The
man.
whole little concept.
Yeah, whole little concept of
It
that
was
song,
perfect.
man. That was produced by Clark Kent. Let's see, Cashmere Thoughts. That was another Clark Kent joint.
I always liked that title.
Yeah. Then the one with Sauce Money and Jazzo, Bring It On.
That's what I'm talking about.
That was produced by Premier.
That's what I'm talking about.
Then Regrets, produced by Peter Panic. I've never heard of him. I don't think I
That's
ever.
how name
That's
Peter
a dope
Panic.
ass name.
Yeah,
Word up.
Peter Panic.
That's tight.
Yeah, man. Can't Knock the Hustle. Fool's Paradise remix. I don't remember that one. That was produced by Irv Gotti.
Yeah, this is probably the joints they brought back out later on.
Yeah.
I just stopped at the CD.
Yeah, Can I Live Too? That one, I don't know what that. Dead President, Sky Beats, Reasonable Track List, blah blah blah. So yeah, those are some dope producers, man. That one caught me off guard though. The other one, yeah, I hadn't Sky Beats. I hadn't heard of him too much.
I remember seeing that
hearing
name a
him,
lot
yeah.
back in the day.
Back
I
in
do.
the day, yeah.
Yep.
So that was dope, man. Some dope liner notes, man. Y'all, you got some dope albums you listen to, man. You listen to them like you was talking about, Gary, man. You listen to stuff, you be like, man, let me see if I got that on vinyl.
Yeah, definitely. They use a lot of different samples, a lot of vocal drops in there. That was kind of what was unique to this album, was that he used like a lot of little vocal drops from other songs and stuff as part of the hook.
Yeah.
So think about The Evils. He had that part with Snoop.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
Right.
Dear
Yeah, he had
God,
that
I
one.
wonder,
Right.
can you save
Yep.
me? Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was dope, man. Let's get into since that was like back then, like that Jay-Z stuff, man. It was a lot of cats that came out of that camp. You know what I mean? Like groups. You know what I'm saying? It was a lot of groups. I mean, he was a part of a group. Him and Jaz-O was a group. You know
Yep.
what I'm saying?
Yep.
So I want to get into some dope artists that started out in a group but went on to have a pretty good solo career. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Just some of the dopest ones. We ain't gotta go through all of them.
We're gonna talk about him later. Ghostface.
Well, yeah, we're gonna talk about one
Yeah,
later.
Ghostface.
Ghostface. He's probably one of the best ones.
Hell yeah. Ice Cube.
Probably a few more Wu members.
Let's see. For me, man, I got a nice little list here. I'll start with some old stuff. Busta Rhymes, yo. Leaders,
Oh, yeah, definitely.
leaders of the new
Oh,
school.
yeah, most def. That
You know
was
what
an
I'm
issue.
saying? Yeah,
On the real. That was an issue.
Gotta have him.
yeah. He went on to be a superstar,
Yeah.
superstar status. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And now, man, he do a lot of behind the scenes stuff. Like he was a co-executive producer on one of Raekwon albums on the
Yeah.
Purple Tape too.
Yeah, I remember that.
So he do a lot of behind the scenes stuff now, man. But Busta Rhymes, man,
Quick
Hell yeah.
sidebar.
yeah,
That was probably the dopest 20 minutes of a rap concert I ever seen. Now I will say that. Busta Rhymes, they come up, they have the cherry. It's not Cherry Blossom Fest. It's a festival that they have in Maryland, in Columbia, Maryland. And he came as part of that
tour.
group,
Okay,
and they gave him like 20 damn minutes.
damn,
But that dude hit so many of his songs and was rocking that shit. I was
yeah.
like, yo, he needed a much fucking longer set.
Yeah,
But-
Busta Rhymes put on a really good show.
Yeah.
Man, like he basically could only give like maybe a verse before he went on to the next. And
Yeah.
he damn hit every damn shit that you possibly could think of that he was on, and the crowd was just lit, man.
Yeah, I saw him at one of the Rock the Bells tours. Him and Spliff Star. Spliff Star was his hype man.
Yeah, that's the homie.
Yeah, that shit was dope, man. Who you got, Dari, man? With the dope artist, man? That started in a group that came out to be a dope solo artist. Don't go nothing easy, man, like Wu-Tang, because we know all of them.
Yeah, I mean, shit, actually, I ain't think of that till he just said that.
Yeah.
Because that was one I didn't take notes
Yeah.
for and shit. Like, but, it's really hard for me to think of one, dog, but like that I'm a real fan of.
Oh, okay.
But shit, Ice Cube is one of them as far as the topic. You know what I'm saying?
Man, Cube started out
Yeah.
NWA.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And the Hollywood shit, death certificate, all that shit. It was
Yeah.
a good day, and now he doing the basketball shit. Like, he came a long way. You know what I'm saying?
Man, and not even just musically. This cat, the movies, TV,
Right.
sports now.
Right,
They
eh?
come from straight out of Compton, fuck the police.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man.
With Jerry curls and 40 ounces.
Right, he always been a G. Boys in the Hood, I thought he was so ill when I was young. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was the hardest nigga in the movie and shit, on the real.
Yeah, man. What about you, Gary, man? The dope artist, man, started in the group.
Let's see, a cat that's definitely in my top 10, Scarface.
Yeah, Ghetto Boy.
There you go.
Gotta give him props. I hated the group, and I hated that she made one fucking album. But Lauryn Hill, you gotta give her props, because the album hit. When that
Yeah,
hit,
Miseducation.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
it
man.
did.
Started.
And I don't call it a rap album. I call it an R&B album. I
It's
appreciate
mostly an
that.
R&B album, yeah.
R&B album with sprinkle verses on there.
Yeah. But yeah, she started with the Fugees, man. So, then into her solo
Yeah,
joint.
classic album cover, too.
Yeah, the
I
score.
love that cover.
What are we considering as a
Lauryn
group?
Hill.
Like, can
Duo,
duos count too?
2, 3, 4.
I was gonna say Andre because whenever they talk about Outkast, they only ever talk about Andre,
Yeah, that's
which is
true,
whack
too.
to me. But like,
But Andre don't got no solo career.
I know, but
Andre don't
it's
have
kinda
an
like-
official joint. Yeah, he don't.
he's like an
I mean,
enigma though. Like
True indeed.
everybody always wants to work with Andre.
And everybody want to hear something from Andre.
Like Andre,
When he come with a classic verse,
He always pop
come.
up with a verse like every
Right.
2 years.
Yeah, but
It's like
but if
a
people
weird
will ever
figure.
follow him, really follow him, you would know that he don't want to rap no more.
yeah, he don't.
That's
Yeah.
true.
He's said it in not even so many
Yeah.
words. He's said it like I don't want to do that no more.
Yeah.
So we'll never hear nothing.
I know,
from him again.
I know. There's some people we're grossly missing on, but I mean,
For real.
Scarface, Ice Cube definitely come to mind because they.
Oh, I got a whole list over here, man. How about I give you Tupac, Digital Underground. right?
Was he really part of this underground? Or was he
Yeah,
just
yeah,
affiliated?
but he just blew. He just blew so fast after that when fucking Juice came out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just
Yeah.
kind of took away from him being in Digital Underground.
I look at him being
I'm
in
with
Digital
that.
Underground kind of like Boosie being with James Brown. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
He's like he was in there for a hot ass second,
yeah.
and then got fired, and then he caught on with Funkadelic and all of them. I mean Parliament and all of them, and then blew up from there.
I give you.
But that's how it was with Tupac. Tupac was in there for a hot ass second.
Yeah, yeah. You remember he was in the same
then-
song. He was in the
Right.
video, same
Video.
song, all
Yep.
around the world. All that shit. So, Tupac
Yep.
might be the biggest one. Here, I'll give you another one, man. Y'all remember the group Children of the Corn?
Yeah. Okay.
Mace,
Oh shit.
Man,
Cam,
Yep. Jay
Big
Z.
L, and
Yeah.
Big L.
Yeah. You right. Yeah.
Yeah.
McGruff.
It was somebody
But
else
then,
too.
but was Big L? But see, Big L was already his own dude before that came along, wasn't he?
No, he came. It was after that.
He was with
Yep.
them.
He
Yeah,
was.
yeah,
Because
there
I
was a
found
group-
that shit
there was a
out
group
after
first.
the fact.
Yeah, there was a group
There was a group
first.
first.
Yeah.
So when did he become affiliated with DITC then?
I'm sure he was always affiliated with them, but that was the group that they had: Mace, Cam, and
Okay.
Big L.
Yeah, that's true. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
They didn't put out a lot of stuff. I think they might have did one album. I think. or
Yeah,
something
but
like
you can
that.
hear some shit if you go online.
Yeah.
And then you already mentioned him. Now that you went that vein, you got to definitely say Styles P and Jada. Although I'll say Styles P is my favorite from the group.
Yeah, Styles have
too.
gone on to have, man, dude, Styles, I think he one of the hardest working MCs in the business, yo. He dropped 4 albums last year.
He stays relevant, man. He stays
Yes,
relevant.
he dropped
Music-
4
yeah.
albums last year. The cat got
Yeah.
Juice Bar. He got, he got the podcast. I think he got a like a little health and care wellness line now, man, where he sell like vitamins and shit like that, dog. All kind of stuff. So, Styles most definitely, man, a dope solo artist to come from the Locks. You know what I mean?
And if we're not, if we're not going to be on like the dudes having to be a superstar and all that.
No,
stuff,
it ain't got to be no superstar.
You definitely you already threw your boy out there, Sean P, because Sean P, after
Helter Skelter.
they kind of on hiatus. I wouldn't say they broke up, but they're kind of on hiatus. But Sean P kept rapping.
That's
And
true.
he put out some dope ass fucking albums.
Yep. He just wilded out.
After
you know
Helter
what I'm
Skelter,
saying?
yeah, man, he kind of helped.
Yeah.
He kept Boot Camp Click afloat.
He's the most
You know?
lyrical nigga in the crew.
He
Yeah,
definitely in my
that dude's a monster, man.
yeah top
He was
5.
definitely a monster.
What was let's see. I'm trying to think of another.
I'm trying to think.
I had on my list here. I don't know. I guess solo Eric Sermon from EPMD.
Yeah.
And-
Eric Sermon, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Gonna go a little more obscure. You can say Dub C from the Mad Circle.
Dub C and Mad Circle. Now that's old school.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Woo.
Could we say Rakim?
Yeah, Dub C kind of.
I thought about that too. What you think about Rakim, Gary? Because you guys, Eric B and Rakim, I think that still was a group. I mean, it was because back then a group was a rapper and a DJ.
That's true.
And Will
shit,
Smith.
Will
I mean,
Smith
you gotta,
then. There you go.
You got to go there.
Yeah, I guess so.
Hell
You
yeah.
do. Yeah, Will
Gotta go
Smith.
there.
He might be the biggest.
That's a fact.
He
He was
might.
the first
Biggest-
rapper to win a Grammy, right?
yeah.
Yeah. He,
He was the first rapper to win a Grammy.
But so he was like that. He might have been the biggest one to come from a group.
He did the biggest. I mean, as far as using that as a platform to go on the shit.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And don't get it fucked up. Dude can rap. He can rap. It was just,
He was entertaining.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
shit.
I give y'all one, man. That y'all probably. This is one I just kind of had to think. I don't know why I thought about it, but 2 Chainz. Because you remember he was
Oh,
a
hell yeah.
player circle.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
part-
True indeed. Titty
Yeah.
boy.
Titty boy.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
UGK?
UG. Well, I guess Bun B.
Yeah.
From
Bun
UG.
B.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Bun
Yeah,
Bun
you have to say
B.
Bun B. Yeah.
Yeah, I still listening to that album that came out last year, man. The Trill.
Yeah, that was
2,
good.
I
That was a
think.
good one.
That
Return
was
to
a
Thrill was
dog,
dope.
that was a dope ass album. They bumped that shit
Yeah.
down there in Texas a lot. That should be on the radio a lot.
Nah, man, I don't listen to no radio.
I know you don't. I was just fucking with you.
Hey, Dale the
shit,
Funky
I
Homo
mean,
Sapien,
I
too.
play the shit.
Dale
Yeah, because the hieroglyphics crew.
crew.
You know what I'm
Yeah, that was
saying?
more of a crew. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I'll give you one. CeeLo.
Oh,
Yeah.
CeeLo
Yeah.
Green.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Goody Mob.
Goody Mob. Yeah. I mean, we can go through all the
Yeah.
Wu-Tang shit, yo. Ghost, Meth,
Yeah.
Ray,
It was
Jizza.
structured that. Yeah, it was structured that way.
Yeah, they kind of when they started doing that, And because Method Man was the first. No, Jizzle was the first one to come out.
Yeah.
I think it was.
Yeah.
He came out before. He came out.
He came out before the
all
Method
that.
Man. Yeah. He
came
no, I'm
out
talking about
before.
after the Wu-Tang when he came out with Liquid Swords. Liquid
Oh,
Swords.
No, Meth
okay.
was first.
Was Meth first?
first.
To
Oh
Cal?
yeah, Takal came
Okay,
first.
well, then
I
it
thought
was
you
Liquid
meant back in the
Swords.
day.
This was the order. It was Meth, ODB, Purple Tape,
True indeed.
then Jizza.
Then
Yeah,
Jizzle.
true
Okay,
Yeah.
all right,
I
I
okay.
remember that shit.
So yeah, that was when they started doing that. I was like, dog, all these cats can't be that dope.
Right.
And showed up, nigga. Every last one of them. I
That
was
was
like,
the gods on the
damn.
real.
Every one of
Yeah,
them.
they were.
Yeah.
And then when the Jizza came out, I thought we had it all at the Purple Tape. You know what I'm saying? I thought
Exactly.
we had it all, man. With
They
the
all
Purple Tape.
released solo projects, right?
Huh?
Everybody. Yeah.
All of them.
Yeah, all of them did. Yeah, and
Eventually, yep.
some of them was later. Like Master Killer was way
Right,
later.
and I waited so long
That's
for
good
him.
later.
was
Ghost
way
came
later.
out. Ghost came out that following year.
Yeah, Ghost came out.
with Iron Man.
Yeah.
in '96.
Yeah. So then who else? The ODB. It was crazy because ODB only made 2 albums.
He made the 2 albums.
The second
but
one came out after he died. So
This gonna sound strange. You know how people say that they have a best. You consider like the best as far as like content, music, and all
Yeah.
that. But that is my favorite Wu-Tang album, all of them, because that shit was fucking entertaining.
which one? Brooklyn Zoo. Return to the 36 Chambers.
36 Chambers, man.
Yeah, that's the shit.
That album was
I was-
quite
Shit.
entertaining.
Yeah.
I was not ready for that kind of album to come out of there. Like that dude was he went totally left field with that shit, but it was like the production on that fucking
it
album
fit
was
him.
so
Real.
goddamn grimy though.
It fit him.
That-
Real.
It fit him so
it
perfect.
fit him. It fit him, but that like go back and listen to the production on that shit. Like that shit was grimy as the first album.
Yeah, it
They was
was.
not bullshit, but they
True
was not
indeed.
bullshit with that title.
That's why I said
grimy as
return.
hell.
Yup. That's real. Then the cover.
It was. I mean, and it fit him for like all that bizarre shit he was doing, where he was singing,
Yeah.
rapping crazy.
Yeah.
The music fit it. I was like, damn, like. So that's my favorite only because of the entertainment factor. I'm not gonna go on there and get no philosophical bars or
Yeah,
learn
yeah,
shit.
no.
If I wanted to just go left field with some shit, I'll throw that shit on and be cool.
Yeah.
What about Terror Squad? Wasn't Remy and
Oh yeah,
Fat Joe part of
yeah.
that
You
too?
gotta have
There you go.
Well, I guess they
Give
did.
it a
Did they
lot.
come out with an album, man, with whole Terror Squad?
Yeah, they did.
They
Yeah.
had to
Did they
lean
start as
back
a group?
shit, though.
Or did they just like combine?
I think that was just more of a crew.
Okay.
Yeah, they did kind of
Yeah.
piece together little by little.
Yeah, it's
once
more of a
Punk
crew
came and
thing.
shit, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
So,
Yeah, yeah.
But
it's
Killer
kinda-
Priest
yeah.
though, Sons of Man, you know what I'm saying? Killer Priest had, he's still
Killer
doing
Priest still
doing
do
his
his thing. He had a dope career, man.
But his
after
first
that.
album was, heavy mental and shit. That was
I'll give
that was
you
major.
Juvenile, man, from the Hot Boys.
Yeah.
Juvenile.
Juvie.
Prodigy did good by itself.
That's the other one I had
Yeah.
too. Prodigy,
I was
man.
gonna mention him
yeah,
too,
you gotta
dog.
say, yeah, y'all right. Prodigy's,
Yeah.
you gotta say Prodigy.
Peace to the
But
God.
even have some dope shit by itself
Yo,
too.
his solo album recently, dog, is a classic, dog.
Hey, both of they dope shit came with Alchemist.
Yep.
Yeah,
That
man.
song
with
he got
Alchemist.
with Meth.
Yeah, that one Alchemist was the one last year. It was called
Damn, I
It's
forgot the
the
name of it.
the one Havoc did with Alchemist was Silent Partner.
That's it.
Silent Partner. That was the name.
That was
of
like
it.
that was like almost that was like 2 years ago.
2
for
years
that
ago. 2 years ago. It's 2019, so we just got here.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Right.
2 years ago.
What about Dipset?
one. Yeah.
Yeah, Dipset did some shit together. So yeah, Cam, man, by himself.
Jim Jones went and did his thing. You know what I'm saying?
Jewels.
Jewels. Yeah, I
Yeah.
never really got into the Jim Jones part though.
No, me neither. I was just saying for the
Yeah,
topic. I don't
I-
fuck
I
with
don't
Son at
even
all.
listen
to them.
I don't fuck with none of them
One
niggas.
Cam, I wasn't fucking with him.
Yeah, I don't really didn't really get into them cats, man.
I didn't catch
so,
that wave. I'm a Wu-Tang
Yeah.
nigga.
Keep computers pewing.
Yeah, so that was well, I guess too from the NWA days. Dr. Dre, man, went on to be
Hell yeah. As well as Cube. True
fucking
indeed.
billionaire shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then did some production on some of the dopest albums and became a legend after NWA.
Yeah.
Man.
Niggas gonna be
yeah.
listening to this through his headphones.
Yeah, man. So he became a legend, man. So there was some dope artists, man, that started out in groups that went on to have some good solo careers, man. If y'all got some dope artists that we forgot, man, that started out, leave them in the comments. Let us know. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm sure we missed some because it's a lot. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
It's a whole lot, man.
Yeah.
So since this the golden era, man, we're going to get into a nice golden era year. Let's jump into the topic, man. The year 2000, man. What you was doing at that time, man. Some of the dope albums from the year 2000. Like I said, we covered 96 on one episode, and we had a bunch of comments. What year did you say, Gary, man, you thought was the dopest year? Because when we did the
I thought that period, like late 93 through 94, I think that represented like all facets of rap. Like you got down south,
you had everything that year. Yeah,
yes,
it covered everything, and I think you got folks like best material. No album sounded alike. No album sounded.
Oh yeah, back then it wasn't too many albums that sounded alike.
And I mean, and it was some great classic debut albums, you know, and it was some great, you know, continuing efforts like from cats who was already established, you know.
Yeah.
That's the area I picked.
Okay, for sure. Yeah,
91 would be right behind it though.
Yeah, there was some dope years for sure. But so on this episode, man, I want to get into 2000, man. So in 2000, man, I was 22 years old.
Damn.
Yeah, 22.
I was like 21, I think.
Yeah, man. So we was all in the throes of our hip hop age, man.
Yeah.
So we was all in the middle of it. I got a couple dope albums from that year, man. Hopefully y'all got a couple dope ones. I started off, man, with the Locks, We Are the Streets. That was when we got introduced to them as well. We heard them before that, but that was when they dropped their solo album. You know what I'm saying? That was one of the dopest albums of that year, man. For real.
Yeah, we was wanging that. Shout out to Reggie on the real. We was wanging that shit.
Killing that shit, man. You know what I mean? What about you, G, man? What you got for a dope album in 2000?
Let's see. Common's like Water for Chocolate joint was cold.
Yeah, I saw that on there. That wasn't in one of my top ones.
I like that because that was like the peak. What was the name of that collective that they was calling themselves? The some shit.
Who, Common?
Huh?
Common and who?
It was the collective they had. It was Dilla,
West Street.
So they went by the Aquarius. It was kind of like the Aquamanarians or some shit like that.
Yeah, something. Yeah.
So they had touched on a few albums. So Commons was one of them. Mama's Gone was the other one. D'Angelo's Voodoo was the other one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right, that crew. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. I didn't know they was all like a crew and they had a name for themselves. I knew they all did their thing together.
Yeah, it was unofficial, but it was just kind of like they was cutting a lot of those records kind of like almost together.
Yeah, they was vibing heavy.
So you kind of heard a lot of those same vibes on that. So if you go back and listen to those, you kind of hear
they was
vibes on all those albums.
What about you, Dari, man? Dope album from 2000.
Shit, I want to say that HNIC. That was around that time.
That was
Prodigy, dog.
Yes, it was.
That marked
Actually, I got that down
part
here.
of my life because that's around the time I had my son. You know what I'm saying? He was born in 01.
Yeah. So listening to
that album, when I listen to it, it brings back all the memories when I used to live with his mother and all of that.
Yeah, man, that was a dope album. I had that on it because when that Keep It Thorough came out,
Facts. Man, love that shit. The video,
man, when that shit came
on, throwing TV at you crazy.
Another good one was the Stankonia joint.
Hell yeah!
I got that wrote down too. The Stank on You, man. The bit,
That's probably the last official Outkast album.
Yeah, pretty much it was damn near. Because after that, they didn't have nothing until what was it, the double CD or something like that.
They have Idlewild, or was that before
that?
Was
well,
movie.
I mean, they brought out the
soundtrack.
Love Below and all that shit 3 years later. But as far as like them making
together,
like
yeah.
that,
And you know what's crazy off that
true.
album, man? What one of the songs that I didn't like at first, but came to be one of my favorite albums on there was "Bombs Over Baghdad."
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
man. Like when I first saw it, I was like, "What the fuck is this shit?"
You know,
but then I watched the video.
Word is born.
Yeah,
and caught the concept afterwards, right?
Video,
Me too.
Man, and I'm like, this shit is dope. So now, man, I listen to that shit sometimes in the morning, man. In the morning, that shit get me hype in the morning before I go to work. Sometimes, man. So that's
Another good ones from that year that I like was Fantastic Volume 2.
Who?
That came the Slum Village joint.
Oh, the Slum Village joint. Okay.
Yeah.
And Quasimodo joint, The Unseen.
Moto? That's Mad Lib.
I don't know. That's Mad Lib's alter ego shit.
Yeah.
See, I ain't know nothing about that at that
Yeah,
time.
that's true. I remember that shit.
And Mad Lib was around, but no one really knew of him.
Yup, underground
because
shit.
They would fuck with the Alcoholics, so that's kind of when you first heard of him on there, because he did some beats on there.
He did some beats on the Alcoholics. Man, I gotta go back.
On a second album.
I gotta go back and do my
Oh,
liner
that
notes
album
on
was
there.
the shit
Yep.
too.
They're one of my top groups of all time.
Facts. They reminded me of y'all brother. I swear to God, I'm telling you. Shout out to Mook.
That was what was dope about like hip hop out of California, man. Like you had different crews, but they all sounded so fucking different.
Yeah, everything was different.
Y'all hit on Hieroglyphics. That was another crew like that. Alcoholics and them was
That's true, dog.
I think they had their own little
They
shit.
did. The Licks was, but see, the Alcoholics, it was the Liquid Crew. It was the Alcoholics, King T, Exhibit,
Yep.
right? But then they was also down with DITC.
Right.
Because I remember on Exhibit first album, they had a song that I think Lord Finesse did some production. It was a DITC song. Yeah.
I forgot about that shit.
Yeah, so that's one of my favorite songs on there.
Yeah.
So they was fucking with DITC too at the time.
Yeah.
Here go another. I got one for y'all, man. Benny Siegel, The Truth, came out in 2000. Not that.
And,
That's a classic album.
It's about
dog.
there, yeah. It's like end of '99, but like
No, that came out in
there.
2000. Yeah, that came out in 2000. Yep. What was the other one I got, man? This was the dopest shit, man, because we always talk about shit that come out. Back then, like now, shit come out so frequent.
Yeah.
You can get dope shit on the same day all the time now. But back then, that didn't really happen because it wasn't that many dope artists, so it was spread out. But on this day, man, in 2000, Dead Prez, Let's Get Free, and Ghostface Supreme Clientele on the same day.
I wasn't going to touch Ghostface because we're going to talk about him later, but that came out that year. Sure did.
Yeah. So, then was some dope albums. That one, who else?
Dynasty came out.
Dynasty came out.
There. It ain't my favorite J project, but it was some cuts on there that was cold.
AZ. I think it was Asiatic or 9 Lives, one of those. But that's another joint I was banging too. The guy AZ.
I think Asiatic came out late 2000, going to 2001, but I think that's that album.
Yeah, see. That's another joint that remind me of them days.
Then another one that was good, one that was good to me was the Scarface joint. He had Last of the Dying Breed.
Oh,
like
that one, yeah.
Yeah.
What was another one I had? That was when this 2000 was, I think it was a dope year too, because that was when we got introduced to Nelly, Country Grammar. He wasn't our favorite artist, but he brought in something.
He did.
He brought in something different to hip hop at that time.
He did.
He kind of was able to make that melodic rap really, really popular.
Yeah.
Like really, really popular. You know what I mean? It was really popular and catchy. And it showed that it could be done.
Right.
Yeah, man. And the production was dope. And like with that country, I mean, I won't say it was my favorite song, but that shit was so catchy, man.
Yeah,
and when it
all
came
that
on,
shit grew on me.
It grew on you, yeah, man. And then you got the Saint Lunatics. It brought a whole new sound to rap to me. That's why I thought about it from that year.
I hated that one, but I thought Nellyville was better. Nellyville was a better effort.
Yeah. But it was just, we got introduced to that sound. That's why I just kind of thought about it.
Yeah.
And wanted to add that.
Other ones that we Reflection Eternal, they brought their project out. Did we catch that?
Yeah, that was Reflection Eternal year. I forgot about that. I'm gonna write that down. Yeah.
Yep. And then also fucking probably the biggest album commercial wise from that year, was a fucking Eminem shit, which I still think to this day was his best album.
Yeah, the Marshall Mathers LP came out.
Yeah.
Wasn't that his first one?
Second.
That was his second album?
That was the second one.
Shady LP
Dre,
was
Dre,
first.
Yeah,
Dre,
Slim
had,
Shady was
Dre,
first one.
Dre had a lot more hands-on the Slim Shady LP, but it was so odd.
Yeah, it was the
It's hard
first
to
one.
get into that one lyric-wise.
He
'cause
fell
was
in
all over the
pocket.
place. This one, he was a little more focused.
Yeah, I think because that ain't the one that he had. Damn, that was
Yeah,
one.
Stan.
I
He had
Am.
The Stand,
like-
yeah, that's like my favorite song of his, man.
Yeah.
Especially with the
Yeah,
video
Stan.
and shit. That was like one of my
Yeah.
favorite songs of his all time.
Yeah, that's the shit, dog.
Yeah.
So that was
Dido.
that year. What was another one I had? That was when we got Shine, the Biggie sounded
Oh,
like
shit,
in 2000. You remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Barrington Levy.
Yeah, man. So
That's the shit.
And so in doing research, sidebar and research, I didn't know this at the time. So when I was doing my research for this. So Shine, you know his story, man. What happened with Bad Boy and the shooting in the club, the stabbing, whatever the hell it was. So I didn't know, dude, that his father is the Prime Minister of Brazil.
Word.
What?
Yes, I didn't know that.
I knew that.
Yeah,
Who was the prime
his father
minister?
is still the Prime Minister of Brazil.
Bars.
Interesting.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Ain't that where he at right now?
I think because he got extradited. I think he got after his
Yeah.
court and stuff.
I
They
think
kicked
they
him out the
kicked him
country.
out.
Yeah, so, but yeah, he's from, and then I guess so. His mom's and them. Ended up moving to New York when he was a kid. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like his pops is still to this day the Prime Minister of fucking Brazil, yo.
That's
Like, what the hell?
crazy. That nigga Shine. He got bucked before too back in the day on the
Yeah.
road.
Who else we got introduced to that year? Ludacris. Back for the
Ludacris,
first time.
yeah, back
Yeah.
when the first time came out.
Well, actually, that was his second album.
That was his first official release.
That was his first official release. Because his album,
His Incognito album out.
well, no, his
But
first
then-
album was actually the Back for the First Time, but
Yeah.
it was Back for the First Time was his first album that he had been pushing for years. But when he finally got a deal, he took that album,
And
got
just
rid of a
Right.
few songs, put some new ones on there. That's why it's called Back for the First Time.
Had
You know what I'm
classic
saying?
videos and shit.
Yeah, that's when we got introduced to Shauna. Ooh,
Shauna, she still lit on the real.
man.
And she could spit.
Yeah, man.
For
So
real.
So there was some dope albums, man, from then. The 2000, man, that shit was a dope year.
Hell yeah.
A dope year.
Lil Jon and them was around. That was a while later, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
Yeah, that was a while later.
So, like we said, we was talking about a dope album that came out that year, Ghostface, The Supreme Clientele, man. So I wanted to get into a little spotlight, man, little Ghostface on this episode, man. One of our dopest MCs ever. We did a T.I. one episode when I did the all-female, all-ladies episode. So go back and check that one out. I had two ladies with me on the show, man. We talked about T.I. and a bunch of other
Yeah, I caught a few clips.
a bunch of crazy shit on that one, man. So that was a fun episode. So this one, I said, I wanted to do another one. So we do Ghostface. I wanted to do Ghostface, man, because he had a nice, long, extensive career. Started with Wu-Tang. You know what I'm saying? So what are some of your, Gary, what's your favorite Ghostface album?
My favorite one, definitely Supreme Clientele, and then Fish Scale. Those are the two that I really like.
Fish Scale, yeah. We're just listening to that in the car on the way over here.
Yeah, I like that he, Ghostface was one of the first of them to kind of branch out and seek out other production to kind of get away from that whole RZA.
The RZA Wu-Tang sound.
Yeah, and so that's what made his stuff dope, and especially when he started going to more of those like classics, classic soul type samples and stuff like those backdrops.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so those are definitely the two that stand out to me out of his catalog. But he's done some decent stuff, like he had those couple projects that he had with what's your boy Adrian Young.
Yeah, I was gonna talk about those, man, because he that was more later in his career. That's when he got he got into the live band stuff, the 12 Reasons to Die with the Adrian Young, man. That was one of my favorite albums of Ghostface, and even though that was older, way later in his career. Because I think Ghostface is more like you get better with fine wine.
Exactly.
Man. He done got better with time, to me.
And he's one of those artists, and you talk about, even when you think about like folks, even like singers and stuff like that, he's one of those artists that's real in tune with the music that he picks for whatever he's going to do.
Yep.
And
He don't just go in there on no random shit.
Yep.
And just slap shit together. It got to kind of go with whatever he's going to be, what vibe he's going to be on, what shit he's going to be on. Granted, Ghostface never really has like a set topic in any song. That motherfucker talk about like 10 different things.
Most of the times he didn't,
but for his project, you get a feel that he has a certain feel for how he wants the music and stuff to go. And so I think that's why his catalog, amongst all the rest of his, brothers or whatever, his really stands out.
One of my dopest albums, man. I don't know if I'll be able to pick his dopest album, just solo album. But if I had to pick one, man, I would say Apollo Kids. That was my favorite. That might have been my favorite album. And I think
slept
that was like
on
a
that.
throwaway album of his.
That's what I'm saying. He had plenty of those too, though.
Yeah. And I
gotta get
think to
caught
me
up.
that was like his dopest album. I think that
gotta
was
get
the
caught
last
up.
album he had on a major label. That was like the one he had to turn in to Def Jam and like, I'm out of here,
Yeah,
son.
get it over with
You know what I
and shit.
mean? And it turned out to be dope as a motherfucker.
Right.
You know? So Apollo Kids, I'll say Apollo Kids might be my favorite Ghostface
Is
album.
that the one with the composition book cover?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, with the little, I think so. Yep, the one with the book on it. Yep. What about you, Dari, man? What's your favorite Ghostface
I do
album,
got that
man?
album, I think.
You probably do with your purple cover.
I do got that. I got that from my brother for Christmas a while back. I do got that.
That one.
Yeah, see, I forgot about that shit. I got that album. I'm thinking of the Wizard of Poetry and shit. I'm getting shit confused. But yeah, my favorite Ghostface album, though, will be probably Supreme Clientele. You know
Supreme
what I'm saying?
Clientele.
Because that just marked the point where it just like shit was changing. That's where a change had came to me. And it was represented in his music, I think. Like, shit got notched up a whole nother level. You know what I'm saying? It was more lyrical.
Yeah.
The production was updated, but it was still grimy. You know what I'm saying? So, and that song One, that's one of the illest joints on there when he just hit you with that rapid fire flow. He always do that shit on the real.
Yeah, that was a dope album. That
Hell
was a
yeah,
dope,
I
dope
bought it on
album.
cassette. That's when cassettes was still popping.
Yeah, man. And then, you got to talk about the shit he did with Ray, man, the Purple Tape. Like,
Yeah.
that's intertwined, man. That was, an intertwined album. So I wouldn't say it was necessarily a Ghost solo album, but it was together. Like, that's some dope shit he did.
Yeah, that was Pacino and De Niro type shit.
It was a very dope concept for a record because when it first came out, I was like, okay, this is a Raekwon album. I know it's gonna be cold because Ray spit some good shit on. But then I was like, featuring Ghostface Killa. I'm like, fuck, I can't picture. And I'm being real. I couldn't picture Ghostface in any real format because we heard him on 36 Chambers throughout.
Yeah.
But even then, I was like, I really ain't knowing who this cat is. Then you pick up the cover, he's kind of like hiding behind like Raekwon.
Yeah. That's what
But
he was.
then you get on there, and the dude just gets on there and just starts spitting that shit. You're like, oh shit, hold on. There's gonna be some,
I haven't
there's gonna be
heard the
some fucking
album yet.
rap on this album.
You ain't heard that album?
Is he on every song?
The Purple Tape?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he on every song.
Except one song, it's a couple songs that Ray goes solo on,
Yeah, it's only a couple.
but all the rest Ghost is on all of them. And Ghost has one solo track on there
Ghost
too.
got a solo track on there too. At the
Yeah.
end, I think it is.
That's true.
It's kind of like right after not that one, but after the joint with Nas.
Oh,
It's
okay.
after that song. Can't think of the name of it now.
Oh, okay.
And then we gotta remember when you put on 36 Chambers, who's the first fucking rapper that you hear on there?
He was
Who's
the first one on there, wasn't he?
He's kicked the first
He said
fucking
his
verse
name.
on the whole album.
Yeah.
Ghostface on the real.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He did. That's right.
True indeed.
I like
He
what
kicked that shit off.
I like what he been doing late. Like you said, we was doing lately with the live band stuff. I think that took it to a whole nother level. I don't know where he got that idea from to do that, but it turned out to be really dope. I think the first one he did was the Adrian Young joint.
Yeah. The 12 Reasons to Die joint, yeah.
Yeah, that was the first one he did. I had never even heard of Adrian Young at the time, but I ended up buying the collector's edition of that album, man. It came with the vinyl, comic book, poster. It had the remix of the album on cassette tape that was produced by Apollo Brown. So they called that the Brown tape.
Damn.
Right.
It's on Spotify now, but at the time it was only on that cassette, and motherfuckers threw an uproar online about it that they couldn't get it. You should have bought the motherfucking, the kit that it came in.
Yeah.
Collector's item.
Right.
But they only made so many of them. You know what I mean? And I ended up getting one. And then after a while, they ended up putting it on Spotify. I had never even opened it. I didn't even know what it sounded like.
Yeah.
It's still in the plastic right now.
Yeah.
But then they put it on Spotify, so I was like, okay, I guess I'll listen to it now. I mean, fuck it, why not? Because I wasn't gonna open the tape. The other one he did, man, that on the live joint after that was
Sour Soul, right?
Sour Soul. Yeah. You listen to that one?
Yeah.
No, but I know about the band. Bad,
The
Bad, Not Good.
bad,
Yeah.
not good. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That one was dope as hell. And I think he did the other one. This one wasn't so much a live band, but the 36 Seasons. So when he got into those concept type albums,
Yes.
you know what I mean? That's when he really got into telling the story.
That's his shit, though. You know what I'm
And then-
saying?
And then the most recent one he did, I don't know if you guys was following this one cat when he was running like his own little blog, but he went by Big Ghost.
Oh yeah, the Big Ghost.
He went by
Yeah,
Big Ghost.
yeah. He used to write
they
the little
gonna-
reviews.
Yeah, which was hilarious as fuck because he wrote it almost as if Ghostface.
You
know,
remember that
wrote on-
shit, Dar? You
I ain't
remember
know
that?
shit about that. I ain't
Nah,
know
that
shit
shit
about
was
that.
hilarious,
Man,
dog.
that dude, he gave Drake all the fucking business.
I'm gonna look it up
On
for you.
anything.
I remember that.
But,
I used to send them to
I
you.
remember that Drake
Yeah.
article. Yeah, okay.
But,
Yeah.
but about about 4 or so years ago, I think he kind of got into like doing like actual production, and he
Yeah,
was one of the first. He was one of the first cats to introduce, well, at least for me, they introduced me to the Griselda cats.
Oh,
When we
okay,
talk
yeah.
about like, we talking
Conway
about
and all them.
Conway. Yeah. So because he did some production on their first joint, and then he just been kind of doing like production for like other cats like that. So him and Ghostface hooked up
With the Lost
like,
tapes, right?
like Lost tapes.
Yeah, the
And
Lost
that's-
tapes.
And that's actually pretty good. Ghost sounded a little weird on there.
I know
I
he
don't know.
did a little bit.
Yeah, something was going on with his vocals. I mean, he was still rhyming like Ghost, but he just didn't sound like himself.
Yeah, they
I
got the
thought-
2 remix albums of that out now. One is called the Bronze Tape and the Propane Tape, and I think it's the same shit. But I think it's like,
Hey.
yeah, but it's like
Shit.
the remixes to the songs, different producers. And
Okay.
shit. Yeah, because I thought it was a different album. I'm like, this nigga just dropped the album. Damn. So it's
Yeah.
the remixes though.
Yeah. That was another one. That was another one that I liked from last year. Like I said, his voice is just a little odd listening to it. That's all.
I know what you mean when you say that, too.
This is the one we was talking about that you didn't get into, Dari Wu Massacre.
Yeah.
Remember
yeah,
that
we was
one?
Yep.
The Meth, Ghost, and
That
Ray.
was Man for Ghost Ring. Yeah. I remember.
Yeah. That might be one of my favorite ones of his too, man. So even though it was more of a group, you ever hear that athlete? You didn't hear that? Meth, Ghost, and Ray?
Nope.
Yeah.
I know the album cover though.
Yeah. You got
Yeah.
Spotify?
Yeah, I do.
Go and listen to it, man. There you go.
I'm gonna go back and check out
right.
Apollo Kids. I'm gonna check out that Apollo Kids because that one I skipped. I don't know why. You know what? I have it. I just haven't listened to it.
Yeah.
I have it on the digital files where I just haven't played it.
Yeah,
But I'ma
Apollo
check it
Kids.
out now.
That was my shit, man. Apollo Kids was, man. But and then he had, what was the other one, man? We was talking about in the car, man. The Bulletproof Wallets. Everybody slept on that one.
That's another one around 2000, ain't it?
That came out in 01.
Yeah, that bring back so many memories. That's a fire album on the road.
Yeah,
The Jokes.
that Bulletproof Wallets was dope.
Rest in peace to Lord Superb. Word is born.
So, but yeah, that was a nice little, Ghostface had a really dope career. He's still going, man. So I think he's supposed to actually, on the next Wu-Tang album, he's supposed to be pretty much like the executive producer. He gonna handle all the.
I read that too.
Yeah, so
Good.
exactly because man,
Your man is Hollywood.
yeah. So everybody else, ain't trying to hear no. I mean, RZA probably he could throw a dope beat here and there, but for a whole album, I don't know if he.
Nah. Isn't it supposed to be like 2 projects? Like Ghost is supposed to be executive producing one, and I think RZA is still going to kind of have his hands on another
I'm
one.
sure RZA gonna try to do something. I'm sure, but no,
Yeah.
we don't want that. We want the Ghostface one.
He's still supposed to
And
come out
none
with
of
that.
and none of that bullshit they pulled a few years ago when they made 2 albums, but RZA decided to take that one and treat it like
Right.
artwork.
Yeah,
and then that asshole bought it.
Disrespected the
Yeah.
whole shit.
Yeah.
Fucked it all up.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Ghost
Some
still
of that
supposed to
shit
do
is
that.
online now. My bad. Go ahead.
He's still supposed to do that Doom joint project that they've been teasing for like
years.
forever.
That's a
Because
fact.
he had a song with him on.
Yeah.
he got 2 of them.
That's his
he got plenty
nigga too. Doom. On the
Yeah,
real
like
MF
Doom.
I
Doom.
forgot what album he had that song on there with him. On that Sour Soul.
He was
album,
called Doom
wasn't
Starks.
He was on that Sour Soul album, I believe.
Doom Starks. But like they've been teasing it forever. And Ghost said
They
it's
go
all
together.
on Doom.
Love too. On the
I'm
real.
sure it's probably done. It's probably
Ghost said it's
just-
all on Doom to finish it because he said he did his part.
He's in London, right?
Yeah. So
Well, yeah, we might not see that then.
Yeah.
So, okay. Well, that's what's up, man. I'm glad you brothers came through, man. We got to talk about some dope shit on the podcast, man. We talked about the year 2000, some of the best albums that we liked. You know, our first rap albums. Went on to a little liner notes.
Yep.
Dopest concert. We hit up and talked about Ghostface. So
from the old and young perspective.
yeah, a little bit,
saying?
you know. Maybe we get the youngin' to come back and we talk about some of the stuff that he rock with.
Yeah, that'd
you
be
know what
dope.
I'm saying? We'll get into some of that because we did an old versus young episode once.
Yeah.
And,
Peace to Joey D.
Yeah, so
And
we
his
did that
seed as
one.
well.
So we're going to probably try to do that again, man, the old versus young again. And kind of see what you got to say.
right. Right.
What you listening to. Like, I'm listening to Trippie Redd.
Hell to the no.
I like a few of his songs.
You like some of his songs?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, before we go, man, who's some of your dope artists you listen to right now?
That I listen to right now.
Yeah,
I mean, the people I named in my top 5 earlier.
that's about it.
Then like, it's not really artists. It's just songs.
Oh, okay.
I got like a playlist full of just random names.
It's random stuff. Yeah, I
Yeah.
got some random stuff going too. Cool. So, like I said, thank y'all for listening. GoldenEraPodcast.com. New episodes everywhere, iTunes, Google Play, all that good stuff. Gary, man, I'm glad we could finally get this done. My brother.
Oh, no problem. Did you guys just go through briefly what you guys were listening to now?
No, I was just asking him to see what he was going, you know, what he had going, man. So,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah, we get to it. We didn't get. I don't think we got to it in this episode. We didn't. So,
Nah, that's cool.
but it's cool. Shit, whatever. We talked about a lot of stuff on this episode. This was a dope episode, man. I hope to get you back on.
No, definitely, man. Definitely available.
Houston, one love.
Yeah, man. Maybe we can do talk about some West Coast shit or something, man. And you know, because I do want to do a West Coast somewhere because I've been on my Too Short shit lately. Still,
OG, triple
not Too
OG.
Short. Yeah. So pimping, bitch. So,
Yep.
all right, y'all. Peace.
One.
Have a
right.
good
All right.
time.
Peace.
All right, cool.
Who can you trust? Who can you trust? Me and myself. Cause these niggas get you fucked up and these bitches get you caught up. Keep it to yourself. That's the way that I was brought up, nigga. Who can you trust? Who can you trust? Who can you trust? Me and myself. Cause these bitches get you caught up and these niggas get you fucked up. Keep it to yourself. That's what's up. What's up? My nigga said he got a whole bird in the crib. It's fucked up though. Niggas know where he live. He don't give a damn. He'll spit a nigga wig.
This is the golden era.